Microsoft and Facebook finish work on giant undersea data cable. Microsoft and Facebook have just completed work on a massive continent-to-continent underwater cable. The SUBSEA cable stretches over 4,000 miles from the U.S. East Coast at Virginia Beach to Spain's north coast at Bilbao. When laying the cable, engineers had to account for an average depth of 11,000 feet and hazards including coral reefs, earthquake zones, and active volcanoes. According to Microsoft, the Marea undersea cable is comprised of 8 pairs of fiber optic cables encircled by copper, a layer of hard plastic, and waterproof coating. The cable can transmit a maximum of 160 terabits per second. That's the equivalent of 71 million streaming high-definition videos. Demand for more bandwidth to handle online video streaming services is said to be one of the drivers behind the installation of the cable. Stay tuned for more on underwater tech.
This robot water snake hunts pollution on autopilot. Meet Lake Geneva's newest swimmer, the EnviroBot, an autonomous pollution hunter. Gulp. The EnviroBot is 4 feet long and comprises several special-purpose modules that constitute its eel-like design. The purpose of these modules are twofold. First, each has a small electric motor that lets the robot swim like a water snake. Secondly, each segment has a unique sensor for gathering a variety of data. For example, biological sensors contain tiny organisms or bacteria that react to the presence of pollutive toxins. Meanwhile, electrical sensors can track water temperature, and chemical sensors test water acidity. More modules can be added as needed. The robot can swim on a route or make its own way through a body of water to find the source of pollution. And while it's very cool, we're not exactly sure we'd want it swimming beside us. Seabed life doubles in ocean warming research. A team of British and American scientists investigating the impact of ocean warming on marine life did just that, warmed up the ocean. Scientists placed heated panels on the seabed near the UK's Rothera research station on the Antarctic Peninsula. The panels heated the water a few millimeters above them for a year, with researchers checking in and photographing the area periodically. Researchers found the amount of sea life there had doubled after a rise of 1 degree Celsius. But after an increase of 2 degrees Celsius, only certain species continued to grow. The encrusting bryozoan grew almost twice as fast under the experimental warmer conditions. The scientists say the results provide insight into what species of seabed life will survive as the oceans continue warming over the coming century. Laying down some million-dollar cable. Southern Cross Cable Network says it will begin the construction of a $350 million submarine cable after finding a more efficient route across 15,000 kilometers of seabed. The Southern Cross next subsea cable route will connect Sydney, Auckland, and Los Angeles through the Wallis and Fortuna waters. Subsea cables handle 99% of data traffic sent around the world. That includes internet usage, phone calls, and text messages. Underwater cables are faster than satellite transmission by up to 8 times. The cables are much thicker near shore because they can be easily damaged in shallow waters by ships and sharks. The cables are laid on the ocean floor by cable-laying ships along a pre-surveyed route that is designed to avoid coral reefs, shipwrecks, and deep trenches. The new cable is said to be able to offer the highest capacity and lowest latency internet connection for Australia, New Zealand, and several Pacific Island nations. UK's BOATY McBoatface submarine will soon begin its first voyage. The yellow submarine, named BOATY McBoatface, will embark on its first voyage this week. The silly name was in fact chosen by the public for the UK's new polar research ship, but the British government didn't appreciate the humor. BOATY McBoatface will leave Punta Arenas, Chile, aboard British polar ship RRS James Clark Ross for the Southern Ocean on March 17th. The ship will release the submarine in a gap in a ridge known as Orkney Passage. BOATY McBoatface is a new type of autonomous submersible that can descend to a depth of 6,000 meters and can travel under ice. It can transmit data back to its mothership via a radio link. The submarine will map the circulation of deep water, known as the Great Ocean Conveyor, which plays a critical role in regulating our climate system. The British government named the new polar research ship as the RRS Sir David Attenborough, after the famous naturalist and broadcaster. The ship is expected to be completed by 2019.